So we have two VMs. One is control node and the manage node. We'll continue with the first exercise which we did yesterday. Okay. So install Ansible. So we did the installation. We mentioned about updating it, but upgrade is not required. Document was written in Ubuntu 20 for Ubuntu 20, but in Ubuntu 22, the update is not required. Only thing is the public IP has changed, so I'll have to log in again. Okay, so I'm logged into control node. Let's also log into manage node. Okay, also let's check whether the passwordless SSH is working properly. So we made an entry in cat/etc hosts yesterday. Okay, so we have these two entries. Okay, let's also check the private IPs. It is 28192.22219. Okay, so this didn't change. Okay, so let's check the SSH manage node. Okay, it's working. And we need to check on the manage node that sudo su is working without password. Sudo su. Okay, that means everything is fine. So we have this entry in cat/etc sudoers, due to which we can do passwordless, means we can become root without asking, without any password. And remember, we also removed the Ubuntu users from sudo, but first make this entry and then remove the sudo users. Okay, and even the Ansible is installed, and this is the version. Okay, 2.10. Okay, we are on control node. So let's create an inventory. Okay, we'll create an inventory, and we'll create that inventory in playbooks directory. So we'll just create a file called host.ini. So we can give any extension, any file name. Okay, as it is an inventory file, I just gave it an extension .ini. We can also create host.txt or only a host file as well. And in that we are saying that we have a server group. Okay, so let's write it in bracket servers. As of now, we have only one server in this group, and the IP address is that is of manage node, and the IP address is 219. We are writing the private IP only. That's it. Our file is ready. Host.ini. Now we can use Ansible using two types. Okay, two types of commands, you can say. One is the adhoc command, and other one will be writing a playbook in a YML format. Okay, so this is one of the adhoc commands in which what we are doing, we are testing the connectivity that using Ansible. Okay, we have tested that using SSH we are able to connect. Okay, now we need to test using Ansible. So what does this line say? Ansible all means for all the hosts, okay, in this host.ini, okay, the inventory file. I stands for inventory file. For all the hosts in this host.ini, use a ping module to check the connectivity. -m stands for module, okay, and check the connectivity. Okay, so it is just trying to connect. For the first time you'll get this. Okay, just say yes, and if you get a proper if you get a response in a green format, that means that this is working fine, the ping pong is working fine. So the connectivity is working, and we can continue with writing our Ansible playbooks or running our ad hoc commands. Okay, so this was the first command, ad hoc command, which we saw, ping module. Okay, now from the control node itself, okay, if we want to check what are the contents of /tmp, okay, on the managed node. This is the managed node. Okay, so we can do ls/tmp on the managed node manually. Okay, if you see, there are four files, four directories actually: snap, systemd private. Okay, so one is cronid, login, and resolved. Okay, so let's check the same thing from the control node as well. So what will be the command? So this is the command which we are using to achieve that. Ansible servers -m command -a. So on servers instead of all, okay, earlier we mentioned on all the servers, means all the groups, means everything on host.ini. Here we are mentioning in the host.ini file, inventory file. Okay, on the servers group, this is the servers group, run the module called command. Okay, so for running a command we are writing -a that lists the contents of tmp, but on the servers which are listed on host.ini. Just press enter and it will show this. Okay, see the contents of the remote host. Okay, in this case the managed node. Okay, so it is also working fine. And if you see, if there are no changes here, it didn't make any changes. Okay, so the color was green only. Here also it didn't make any changes, but it got some values. So if you see, the color difference will be a bit of yellow. Okay, now from the control node itself we'll run one more command. Okay, so let's first check on the managed node. Okay, on managed node, let's check if the Apache is installed. Okay, so if you see, Apache is not installed on the managed node. dpkj-l grep apache 2 will give us whether the Apache is installed or not. And now we'll remotely, using the ad hoc command of Ansible, install Apache 2. Okay, Apache 2 is not installed on the managed node. From the control node, we'll do that now. So what I'll do is, if you see here what we have done, we are also running on the host.ini inventory file on the servers group a command, and the command is apt module apt we are running that make sure Apache 2 is present. Okay, and if you see at the end I have written become. Okay, so I'm using apt module. It is just like an apt command which checks if the Apache 2 is present on the remote host, and if it is not, it will install it. Okay, so what we will do is we'll just remove this hyphen become and say, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we need to add hyphen f and become. So just enter, and if you see something is in red color. Okay, and if you read it, it says that failed. Okay, so what failed? Permission denied, unable to acquire dpj front-end lock. Okay, so if you see, it is trying to run this, okay, without sudo privileges, okay, on the remote host. Okay, so what it will do is when we add hyphen hyphen become, okay, we are saying that become root for which user we are trying from Ubuntu user from this system. Okay, so on that system also it will check for a Ubuntu user, and it will check if the Ubuntu user is added in the sudos or not, and then only it will try to install the packages. Okay, let's run this command. So hyphen hyphen become is important for getting the contents of ls and all. We didn't need to become root, because anybody can list the contents of temp directory, okay, temporary directory. Uh, but for installing packages we need to become root. Okay, remember this can be an interview question. So if you see the color change, that means something has changed on the remote system. Let's check if the Apache 2 is installed. Okay, if you see, Apache is installed now. Okay, so this is just for learning purpose or for some troubleshooting. We can use this ad hoc commands. Okay, in real time we do not do that. We will be creating the playbooks instead of using the ad hoc commands. Okay, so